It's been 1 year since the Montezuma fire, and the city wants to add more houses to this neighborhood with no fire station. Hear from community members.
It was a hot one out there for today, even some record temperatures, but we're cooling into the weekend.
A burglary in broad daylight. A Pacific Beach woman was shocked when she came home to this.
An inmate's death in jail leads to the largest settlement in county history.
Where the fight over Prop 50 stands less than a week from Election Day.
And it's not every day you meet the Tooth Fairy, coming up in the Southerly Zone.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
Nearly 1 year after a brush fire forced what neighbors described as a chaotic evacuation of the college area, the city of San Diego wants to add tens of thousands of new homes to that area that already doesn't have a fire station. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
And I'm Steve Price. In tonight for Carlos, CBS 8's Alex Cheney talked with the president of the College Area Community Council today. He joins us now live with more on the concerns being raised in that area tonight. Alex.
Well, Steve, that's right. A lot of these community residents are concerned that if the city's plan happens, they're going to add thousands of more residents to this area without improving the infrastructure to hold several thousand additional people. I'm here in the college area right now. This is the exact canyon where the Montezuma fire just ripped through just about 1 year ago. Community residents are concerned that if this happens again, there could be a crush of people trying to evacuate in a really messy situation. This is drone video taken just after the Montezuma fire in 2024. The fire ripped through the canyon, burning 37 acres and damaged 6 homes. The fire forced thousands to evacuate. And here's new video we shot today. You can see regrowth in the canyon where the burn scar used to be as grass and greenery return to the hillsides.
Saw a little puff of smoke, stopped to pick up a prescription, came back out and saw a big old column of smoke.
Julie Hamilton was there the day the Montezuma fire started. She says the Alvarado Estates community where she lives was right next to the fire.
It's a sense of fear because you know what canyon fires do.
Julie says the community doesn't have a fire station, and the city's proposal would add more residents without adding more safety infrastructure like a fire station and other routes to evacuate.
This proposal to increase the allowable density really doesn't include any realistic provisions for a fire station.
The City of San Diego's Planning Commission approved the College Area Community Plan on October 9th. The proposal would increase housing 316% in the college area. It would take the college area from around 24,000 residents to 74,000, an increase of around 50,000 people. Councilmember Sean Elo Rivera said about the plan, community plan updates set the long-term vision and land use framework for neighborhoods, but they don't replace the city's ongoing responsibility to provide essential services. Julie says residents want to find a middle ground between increasing housing and still providing safety to residents.
There has to be an in-between place for increasing density before you get critical with the infrastructure that you cannot provide.
She says she already knows many residents leaving the neighborhood and wants it to be a place where people can start a family.
It's not going to inspire people to want to stay in the community and continue to help build the community. And we want a healthy community. That's what we're looking for.
Julie went on to say that the college area community group, they made their own plan to extend and increase the density in this area. Not quite the 50,000 people that the city wants, but they are still open to increasing density so long as they still get those safety services. The city council is expected to hear this proposal coming up next on November 6th. Back to you.
Thanks, Alex. Gorgeous sunset behind you. Now, if you stepped outside today or maybe played some pickleball, you felt the heat on this weather impact alert day.
Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis joining us early tonight for a first look at just how long this warmer weather is going to stick around. Man, it was nice out there today, but dry.
It was, but it always goes back to pickleball with that one sitting next to you, Steve. So she was drinking plenty of water when she was playing pickleball. I hope you were drinking plenty of water today, too, because it was hot out there. So we did have a weather impact alert day for today. So we had 2 of them for this week on Tuesday, and then the max of that heat was today for Wednesday. You're talking about records across the county that were either tied or broken, going all the way back 100 104 years. That's Chula Vista's new high. So you're now talking about a record that was broken. Previous record was at 87 degrees back in 1921. Today, 94 degrees. Also had a record high of 94 degrees for Vista. You tied the record today in Campo as well as for Alpine. So we were feeling the heat, those widespread 90s. We're getting away from those 90s back into the 80s right now for La Mesa as well as for Escondido. Still pretty warm out there with those temperatures. And you have the 70s right there along the coast. Along the coast, we even had some 80s for daytime highs for today. We still have the heat advisory for less than an hour. It will expire, and that's because of the heat we had today. Temperatures trending downwards starting tomorrow, but still warmer than usual. We'll take a look at just how warm it's going to be tomorrow coming up. Marcella.
Thanks, Carlene. And as always, you can find our extended weather forecast on CBS 8+. Listen to all kinds of details about our beautiful forecast. Just download on your TV and watch for free.
Tonight, we are learning that charges have officially been filed against a Navy sailor who's accused of making a false bomb threat on a Hawaiian Airlines flight from San Diego earlier this year. The city attorney's office tells us that John Stea is facing charges of resisting arrest and making a false bomb threat. You might remember back in May, the 35-year-old was on a Honolulu-bound flight when investigators say he told a flight attendant that the passenger sitting next to him had a bomb. Well, that forced the evacuation of nearly 300 passengers from the plane. Stea is set to answer to charges in court next month. New tonight, a burglary caught on camera in broad daylight happened in Pacific Beach. That's where a home was broken into on Chalcedony Street just after 5 last night.
CBS 8's Steffi Roach joins us live from Pacific Beach with details. Steffi?
Well, in just a matter of 5 to 6 minutes, the suspect was able to cut through this screen. The window behind was open. He reached down and was able to open the door here and get inside. Now, take a look at this video. This is video that was recorded by neighbors. Mary Kate Costello was out. She is the resident that lives here. You can see a man wearing all black clothing and a white face mask break into the home. San Diego police tell me he took her hanging jewelry case with jewelry that is believed to be worth around $5,000. Police say he took off in a white Mercedes. Costello was just returning from a trip. Her 2 dogs were inside the home, and neighbors alerted her to the incident when she made it home a little while later. That's when she contacted SDPD.
He wanted to take more since he was wearing gloves and opted not to since he noticed there were dogs in the house. I don't know, but most shocking is that it occurred in broad daylight on a busy street 2 blocks from the water where there are lots of passersby with their surfboards, their dogs, their strollers, and he acted like he was welcome to be there.
I did chat with the neighbors who granted us permission to show their video. They opted not to be interviewed about what they witnessed. Meanwhile, San Diego police confirmed that they do not have any suspects in custody tonight, and that this is an ongoing investigation. For now, reporting live in Pacific Beach, I'm Steffi Roche, CBS 8.
Thanks, Steffi. Community organizations are coming together tonight ahead of Day of the Dead to remember people who have died in ICE custody.
They are holding a vigil right now outside the Otay Mesa detention facility where they say at least 22 people have died in just 9 months. What you see here is a live look at the event, which features an altar to honor each of the lives lost in custody. Organizers have been trying to call attention to what they call abysmal conditions inside detention centers, and they are demanding the centers be shut down all across the country. San Diego County leaders have approved a $16 million settlement to be paid out to a family whose son died while in a county jail.
And as CBS 8's Jenny Day reports, it is the largest settlement of its kind in county history.
A big portion of this case comes down to 55 hours worth of video surveillance that was deleted. The family says it would have revealed what happened to their son, while the sheriff's office says in those 2+ days, there was nothing to see.
There isn't a morning that goes by that I don't wake up with him first thing on my mind.
$16 million for the death of their son, 22-year-old Hayden Schuck. His parents still grieving 3 years after they claim nurses and deputies failed to care for him while he was in custody. Schuck was arrested for driving under the influence of drugs following a crash and being in possession of an unmarked gun.
We've already lost everything. You can't pay for that. What you can do is send a message that change is needed.
Attorneys representing this case say instead of being taken to the hospital, Shuck was put in a jail cell. They say forgotten for days. 55 hours of surveillance video leading up to his death was deleted, even though policy requires it be kept for 2 years. The medical examiner says Shuck's death was accidental, citing extreme dehydration and cardiac arrest due to cocaine and ecstasy.
Showing nothing is also showing something, because there should have been safety checks performed, medical, people just, bringing him lunch, dinner, whatever, and there's none of that.
His death was entirely preventable. He was demonstrating clear signs of intoxication, withdrawal, and dehydration.
The record-breaking settlement requires advanced training in our jails, specifically recognizing mental illness and signs of substance abuse withdrawal. The family says their goal is to make it too expensive for the county to let these needless deaths continue. They want meaningful reform instead.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! We want accountability. We want fidelity for training. We want to say, hey, these are human beings.
The sheriff's office says they know these individuals are not statistics or case numbers. They are someone's loved one. Adding in part, we take these tragedies to heart, and they deepen our commitment to ensuring that every person entrusted to our care is treated safely, humanely, and with dignity. Significant improvements have been made to our jail system, producing measurable results. Over the last year, San Diego County jails recorded the lowest number of in-custody deaths in more than a decade, saw a 65% reduction in overdoses and 0 suicides in 2024, the first time that has occurred in more than 20 years. We remain committed to learning from the past.
Now, just since 2018, settlements stemming from in-custody deaths have resulted in more than $50 million in payouts for the county. They cite medical neglect, use of force, and jail suicides. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day.
Jenny, thank you. City crews are finally addressing a backlog in safety upgrades to streets all across San Diego.
We'll tell you what sparked the action, still ahead. Plus, the new proposal from local leaders to cut down on what they call junk rental fees.
And how San Diego Unified is helping families in the district who don't have a permanent place to live. We'll have those stories and more coming up after this.